Records with 3 Days Grace 1X. This is their second studio album. It was released in 2006. I was correct. And by the time I was around 8 or 9, I was going through living through a blended family on both sides. So I had an MP3 player. Yeah, we had MP3 players back then. Isn't that wild? Anyway, when I was 9, I would jam to a lot of the songs on these albums. In fact, by the end of it, I knew every single song on this album except for the bonus track called 1X. So the track list, if you're curious, is It's All Over, number 1, 2, Pain, 3, Animal I Have Become, 4, Never Too Late, 5, On My Own, 6, Riot, 7, Get Out Alive, 8, Let It Die, 9, Over and Over Again, 10, Time of Dying, 11, Gone Forever, and 12, 1X. So yeah, that's the track listing, and every single one of these songs I absolutely loved, but I couldn't really put my finger on the album. Like, I didn't really know, oh, this song's from 1X or whatever. But years later, when I was 14 and going through a rough time, I picked up this album and wow, I was blown away. Oh my god, I really love all these tracks, And seriously, and the song that specifically spoke to me on this album was Never Too Late, because as a 14-year-old who was very depressed at the time, going through self-harm, going through unrequited love, I was in love with someone who didn't feel the same. And I was feeling oftentimes not the greatest, let's just say. The song really spoke to me again as well, because the song is about the perspective of a loved one whose wife, I believe, is going through a mental breakdown. And that's what was happening around me. A lot of my friends at the time when I was 14 were going through some really horrible shit. And it made me feel horrible because I couldn't do anything to help them. We were all kind of each other's therapists, but yeah, this album represents, this is a dark album too, and it represents a dark time in my life. One Last Look. Amazing album. My god. And second band, this is a set of albums we're going to look at today. The first is Dookie by Green Day and American Idiot by Green Day. I know, surprising that a metalhead would be interested in this. You might go, okay, I can totally see a metalhead first getting into 3 Days Grace, but Green Day, really? But yeah, again, during the same time period, dealing with being a 14-year-old who's very depressed, having this music as an outlet was very nice. And I love Dookie. It's a solid album. It's got great tracks like Burnout, Having a Blast, Chump, Longview, Welcome to Paradise, Pulling Teeth, Basket Case, She, Sassafras Roots, When I Come Around, Coming Clean, Eminence Sleepus, In the End, FOD, which the track actually stands for Fuck Off and Die. This sounds like my kind of track, because of all the swearing, And yeah, overall great album, but the album that truly blew me away was American Idiot by Green Day. Man, oh man, oh man. As an angsty teenager who didn't want to listen to their parents, and that's pretty much, this is a rock opera, and that pretty much tells that story of St. Jimmy who eventually decides to peace out from his house because he's tired of living there, tired of the negativity, so just carves out his own path. I think a lot of younger people really related to this kind of thing, and that's why the album, I believe, went diamond. I believe it went to sell 10 million copies, but I could be wrong. Definitely sold a lot, though, and for good reason. And and there's an old saying, just because some music is commercial doesn't automatically mean that it's bad. We need to get out of that stupid mentality in the metal community. Stop being so narrow-minded, in my opinion, of course. Thank you. Because you are missing out on some fantastic music, and even very dark time. There's a lot of darkness in this album. A lot of melancholic sadness underneath it all. And yeah, that's just, it is what it is. And this last set of albums, this might make metalheads in the community, make the metal purists get really mad, but I love making people mad, so yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is Nevermind by Nirvana and In Utero by Nirvana. Now, so here was the story. I watched the music video for Smells Like Teen Spirit, and I really liked the song. I thought it was jamming, just rocking, right? So I go and pick up the album, and at first I thought, okay, this is okay. There's some decent tracks on here, but I wasn't too into it at first. But then the album grew on me, and I slowly started to love tracks beyond the singles. So obviously, I loved, Smells Like Teen Spirit, In Bloom, Come As You Are, Lithium. Something in the Way was a more obscure track that I really liked because of how dark it was. As someone who's going to become a metalhead, that makes sense. But as I started to listen to the album, I started to like more and more tracks, like Breed, like Polly, like Territorial Pissings, like especially Drain You, and Kurt Cobain would agree with me. That was his favorite song to perform live, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, and this album is real polished, and it sold extremely well. And again, some of the Nirvana purists are gonna be like, oh well, it's not good because it's too clean to produce so well. My counter argument to that is, according to Kurt Cobain's own admission, he put his best songs on here because he wanted it to be like the albums that he loved, where he loved all the songs on it. So he said, okay, I gotta get my shit together, put the best songs on, and that's what he did. So I think that pretty much means that by Kurt Cobain's own admission, Nevermind is the best Nirvana album. I don't know, feel free to debate in the comments. And then you have In Utero. At the time, it took me a lot of time to get into this. Aside from like the singles, or two songs that I really liked on this album called Heart-Shaped Box and Rape Me. God, this video is gonna need a trigger warning, I guess. Oh, and all apologies, I really like the song as well. Aside from those three, I had a really hard time getting into this album. Just because of how raw it was and noisy it was, but this album grew on me, and eventually I grew to love it, almost as much as Nevermind. And still today, I think it's a phenomenal album. And I need to listen to it. I haven't listened to it in ages. Like, you see a lot of these albums have collected dust. So yeah, this is the beginning of a metalhead's journey. This is saying today I listen to black metal, and I don't listen to their music very often, but I still have a great respect for what they did. Like, Green Day and Nirvana basically made me pick up a guitar and learn. Wasn't very good at it at the time because I wasn't very dedicated and I was just a beginner. But they still made me pick up an instrument, which I decided to pick up back again years later, and I owe that to them. So yeah. Ever want to know where a black metal fan started out as? Look at these albums. And these albums. And yeah, like I said, this was a very dark time for me, so I'm very glad that I had this music to be there for me. I know it sounds kind of troubling, music saved my life, and I do think that's a bit of an exaggeration, but like, music definitely didn't hurt my life, though, that's for sure. It was definitely a positive in a dark time, so there's that. And yeah, this is my first video, so